hear it again, Stu. Just one more time. It was quick, but just to put Mazz in the mood.
Coach, was there any thought to taking a timeout maybe earlier in the drive where the Colts ultimately scored, and what was the thought process?
Absolutely, there was a thought. We've also won a Super Bowl here doing it the other way, and keeping our timeouts is what I thought was best for the team.
Mazz, your thoughts?
Okay, so we've won. I'm getting tired with the we've won doing it this way in the past. We did it this way a few weeks ago, and now we did it the other way, and you guys are going to criticize us no matter what. But let's stick with the first part. We won a Super Bowl doing it the other way. What the hell did you have to do with that? Seriously, this idea that he was somehow he talks like he was on the sideline and he made the call to not call a timeout when Seattle was running around with his head cut off and Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson. He makes it sound like he was behind that call or was a big part of it. He wasn't. So, and to me, this speaks to what the real problem is and where the disconnect is. I remember saying to you once, it feels like Belichick studies the mannerisms and reactions of the other sideline on film and then sees him in the game and says, what's this guy doing? He's asking Ernie. I remember he said about McVay, what's McVay doing? Like the body language. So he sort of knew what was going on over there based on the body language. For all the criticisms that we've given Belichick over the years, you've never heard me say he was bad at reading the other sideline. It's one of the things he was great at. He had a great sense for what was going on in the game and with other people. A great sense for it.
As well as a library of tape.
Well, they're that too. Okay,
ahead.
yes, there's no question. So I shouldn't leave that part out. Mayo makes it sound like he was in on that decision. What's he talking about?
When I heard this yesterday, I had to think. Yeah, right. I was like, well, he's not on that staff. Was he even on that team that year? I think he played 6 games in 2014.
He was injured.
My guess is he was on the sidelines in sweatpants.
But still, you got nothing to do with it. This was Matt Patricia-esque is what it was.
He played in one Super Bowl. 2011. That was it. Mm-hmm. He played in one. And this is going to sound kind of harsh, okay? Because I liked him as a player. I didn't love him as a player. What was the most memorable play of Jerod Mayo's career?
He didn't have a ton. He was just
any?
He was just a good run defending middle linebacker.
Good tackler.
Yeah.
Right?
He put up a lot of tackles.
Did he have a big interception? Did he have a big sack? Did he have a big forced fumble or fumble recovery?
I don't remember any.
Me neither.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with what's happening as a coach.
No, but I'm just telling you again, he was a nuts and bolts kind of player.
Yep.
Right? And listen, there's value in that. He was in a lot of ways, I equate him to McCourty in that way. They were both sort of quarterbacks of the defense, and I get all that. But again, he makes it sound like, I have this long history of making these decisions. What are you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I just don't think he has any history of making these decisions.
Yeah. I wouldn't equate the two. I mean, it's just apples and oranges. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, in one case, they're driving it right down your ass with the game on the line. You're back on your heels, and you could have used a little change of momentum there as a chance to catch your breath or whatever, throw in whatever cliche that you want. Where in the other one, yes, you were also kind of on your heels, but in this situation, you would just come up with, again, this was the Dante Hightower tackle of Marshawn Lynch, right? At the 2-yard line, 1 or 2 yard line. He saved the game as much as Butler did, because that felt like a walk-in touchdown when he brought him down with one arm. And at that point, you're sort of, okay, you throw out your 3 corners, and Pete and the other side is sort of panicking, tick, 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 and Bill sort of made the calculated decision right there. It's just apples and oranges from what you were dealing with yesterday. You think that's the same thing, Jerod?
No, it's not. Again, it's not. And
that goes back to the thing you said earlier, Mazz, just to finish the thought. You said earlier that Mayo has no game sense. It's like he has a predetermined thought about how we're going to handle a situation or what to do in that situation. He can't really... It's not based on what's happening during the game. And there's another example. That's just not... I would not equate the two. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, not in a million years.
It's just not the same thing.
No, it's not. And again, Bill wasn't perfect, But generally speaking on those, he was pretty good. He had an idea of what kind of game it was, what it was going to take to win it. How many stories have we heard over the years of players saying, Bill said if we do these 3 things, we were going to win the game. This is what we had to do. And Bill would put an emphasis on those. So I don't think Mayo is in any place to make this comment about winning a Super Bowl like he's the one who won it. No. He doesn't have the credentials as a coach to be able to throw that stuff around. He just doesn't.
So it was, in holding the timeout there for Bill was a conscious decision because he felt panic on the other side, and he wasn't going to bail them out with the timeout, okay? That's if you believe Bill. There's other
he
people
might have been full of it, too.
There's other people who think Bill just froze and made a mistake because he should have been saving time for Brady to come back and get a field goal if Seattle scored in that situation. There's some people who believe that. I've always given Bill the benefit of the doubt. Because I just don't believe in Pete Carroll, and I do believe Pete's a panic sandwich, and that I do think Bill got the better of him in that case. I've given Bill the benefit of the doubt. Okay, but in this situation, it was really kind of just the opposite. Remember, we talked about the 3rd and 1 where they quick snapped you. They had a 3rd and 1 deep in your territory, and as you're sort of milling around, just getting set or not set, Taylor got it on a straight handoff. And then here's the sequence. Richardson then had a keeper around right end, and then Christian Gonzalez made a great play on a pitch around the end
to Taylor,
where he tackled him out of bounds and really sort of held his edge. And Gonzalez made a great defensive play on this.
He knocked his legs out from under him. It was a great tackle.
Okay, knocked him out of bounds. Clock is stopped. Now the Colts are scrambling to get the play in. The game clock was stopped. But the play clock was going, tick, 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 tick. And they couldn't get lined up. And they were borderline about to not get the snap off. And the Patriots called timeout. And I don't know if you remember, but Richardson actually went to the sideline and took off his helmet and held his helmet up as if to say, I can't hear you in my headset, or the microphone's not working or something. And you actually bailed them out by calling that timeout. They were about to take a delay a game or would have needed to burn one of their timeouts, and you called it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yes.
So it's like you...
And then didn't the Colts then call a timeout too? They were back-to-back?
I think they might have actually then followed up with one of their timeouts.
Yeah, I think so.
But they weren't... I don't know if they were going to call it before that play. You were the one that called it in that situation.
Right, the Patriots called it first.
And it's like, so... No, it wasn't about just saving timeouts. It's about having command of the situation and being in command and, having a calm head and thinking strategically through the thing. And then if you need to call the timeout, you do. If you don't, you don't. Whatever the situation calls for. And that's not what I saw from the Patriots at the end of the game. So for Mayo to say, hey, listen, we won some Super Bowls, hold on to our timeouts. Like, oh, give me a break, man.
No, and I feel like he's changing a lot of this stuff week to week and sort of he's still searching for what to do in these spots because he doesn't know. So one game it's let's go for the 2. One game it's let's not go for the 2. And I understand when he says every game's different. I agree with him. I do. I generally agree with him. But he doesn't have the reservoir to draw from to make me think that this is any sort of like master plan or strategic thinking. I think he's just flying by the seat of his pants and one week doing one thing and the next week doing the opposite.
All these little things fascinate me, and I just think so many teams do it wrong, unless I've got it wrong. Let me just give you another one on the Indy side. So after they score the 2-point conversion, there's is that 17 seconds on the clock? Okay. Or 12. 12 seconds on the clock. They snapped it with 17. Okay. So 12 seconds on the clock when the Patriots get the ball, but the Indy kicked it in the end zone.
Yeah, mistake.
Kick that in the field of play.
Bingo.
And make the Patriots burn 6 seconds on the kickoff return.
Yep, we were talking about this at the game. Burn the clock.
Like, isn't that an easy one?
Yeah, in fact, I even thought that they might like semi-squib it.
Well, you can't anymore.
But what if you kick a line drive into that area?
It's got to land in the area.
Inside the 20, right?
It's got to land in the area, so there's no more squib kicks, because if it lands, it's got to land on a fly in the area. If it lands short, so I wouldn't even mess with the squib kick, but I would say, pop this up inside the 10. You should be able to do this, you dink, whoever the stupid kicker is. Like, you make the team return the ball.
Yes.
So, like, Am I crazy about that?
No, I felt the same way. The ball should have been, instead they gave him the ball to 30 and
The 30-yard line.
chewed no time.
No time, so 12 seconds.
And the Patriots, as it was, got 3 plays off and got the ball to midfield.
And they actually handled this part well. The last snap was with 4 seconds, and they got it to Henry, and he slid and banged the timeout immediately. They actually did well with that. Now lining up for a 68-yard field goal was colossally stupid.
They didn't gain any yards on the second play, though. Had they gotten yardage on the second play?
It was the first play that was incomplete.
Oh, it was. Okay, so it was the first
Play was incomplete. Then they went 11 yards to Henry over the middle, bang, timeout, and then quick 9 yards, bang, he slid, timeout with 1 second left at the 50. I would not have gone for the field goal there. But the Colts thing, it's like chew up half that time just on the flipping kickoff.
Clueless.
Marcus Jones is a dangerous guy. I get it. But
kick away from him.
Good Lord.
Right. Kick away from him.
So there's this stuff at the end of the game. But that Mayo comment. So add him to the list of Matt Patricia.
It is. I mean, that's up there with, well, I think I've made one of the biggest plays in Super Bowl history, like you did. I mean, come on. And also, just never mind the fact you referenced something from 10 years ago. Come on.
We also won a Super Bowl doing it the other way. Like it's his era. It was his team.
Yeah, right.
What the hell is he talking about? I heard that and I said, you've got to be kidding me. Kraft maybe could have gotten away with saying that.
Maybe.
But, maybe.
No one else. There's
But
no one
that's
left.
it.
There's no one left who can say it.
Holy crap, jeez. Like, what's the next stiff 20 years from now going to say that too?
Oh, yeah.
God.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.